Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. These are the secrets revealed about silver, the hidden truth that they are definitely trying to cover up, the reality behind the scenes, whether it's the price manipulation, whether it's gold and silver's potential just flat out, or it's the looming recession. Several different things we'll be mentioning in this video. Before we start, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new because I post daily videos. So, JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, and the Dutch Bank all caught spoofing, placing false buy orders, trying to manipulate gold and silver prices. People are not giving this story enough credit. The courts actually made this a federal punishable crime now, which it's illegal to do. 3 of JP Morgan's members got arrested for doing this. They've been using this or misusing this method by the billions of dollars, keeping gold and silver to the prices that they wish, which is not allowing their natural price flow or their natural prices to fluctuate and rise or drop. This is a serious, serious crime, and it's highly illegal. But not only that, it's also hindering investors like you and I, because now what's the point of investing in something that's controlled to that extent? Now, I am curious to what extent these prices are being influenced and where the prices would be if this was not going on. There always is going to be spoofing going on behind the scenes. There's always going to be somewhat of a manipulation, but I hope over time they get to better get a hold on this. It's sad to say this, that gold and silver are in a bubble, not only from this way, but others as well, not only just spoofing, but there's other ways as well. We saw JP Morgan also got caught with millions of dollars in misprinted gold bars that are going to be sold on the black market. I mean, what else are they doing behind the scenes that we don't even know about? That people or how many other companies and businesses and banks are getting away with it? It's funny how when I'm talking about banks, how banks own so much gold and silver even though it's not real legal tender anymore. What's the point of that? I mean, yes, if the gold and silver standard were still in place, it would make sense. But it's just sitting there. It's almost like they know something that they don't want you guys to know. It's almost like they try to cover up silver's real potential or its real truth. This has been going on, this cover-up has been going on for the last 100 years. Ever since they kicked the silver, the constitutional silver out and started backing everything with quote-unquote fake money, our fiat currency nowadays. It's almost like they didn't want you to know that silver was the real value, that was our money. They want our dollar bills, our fiat currency, to be quote-unquote money, but the only money we ever had was gold and silver because that's the only thing that has intrinsic value or had intrinsic value when we were exchanging or trading across the globe. But now that that's out of place, hyperinflation takes over, and you can see where that has led us. So that story really did affect me when I found out that JP Morgan was behind this. They've done several other things with Bitcoin. They're a shady company. Now, speaking about that though, whether or not we are going to start figuring out silver's potential in the industrial world, that's a whole nother category, because we've seen that the industrial demand for silver premiums have been spiking. These businesses, these companies are paying premiums. They're paying premiums. They're paying over spot what they normally would just to make sure that they get their silver, which does not happen. That's unheard of, which means that the silver supply must be falling. They must know that silver supply is diminishing and that silver is very precious. And that right there is a red light indicator showing that the supply and demand is out of whack. We know that the miners, which this is another story that has been gone unspoken of, 3 biggest producers for precious metals, Mexico, Peru, and Chile, all abandoning silver mines, not wanting anything to do with silver, focusing on gold, trying to just chase that greenback, chase the dollar because gold's more profitable. But what happens when we need all this silver? Silver's one of the most highly needed metals or just assets in the world for our technology, for industrial uses, for everything. It's used for everything. So we need this silver, but for some reason, we're not producing it. We're not producing any silver. It's all individual or private companies digging it out the ground. And the only silver they're finding is bypassing, by accident, basically. So that shows that when the demand needs to be met with the supply and the supply can't fulfill it, there's going to be a huge problem. And we're starting to finally see that. And that's happening right now. The first signs of it are happening with these big companies paying premiums for silver when they normally get it for spot or under. That shows that they still are going to be paying the price no matter what the price is. When we talk about $100 silver, a lot of people say, well, who's going to buy $100 silver? That's so expensive. Well, these big tech firms are going to be buying it. Me and you will still be buying it. You know why? Because when silver is at its highest, this is when everyone's talking about it. This is when there's the most momentum behind it. This is when news is covering it. You see all the articles, the YouTube videos, the blogs are written about it. All your friends and family are talking about it. Just like when Bitcoin was $20,000, that's when most people were buying it. They weren't buying it when it was $1,800. They're not buying silver when it's $17. They're going to be buying silver when it's $100 because that's when everyone's talking about it and they want to get a piece of their own silver so they can get in the loop with everyone else. Even if they don't even know what the whole purpose of it is or why people are buying it, they're still going to do it. Just like most people did not know or understand how Bitcoin worked or what Bitcoin was used for, but they were still buying Bitcoin up by the boatload. And then they sell it once it crashes because they don't understand how the markets work. They don't know how to invest. It's a cover-up. The banks don't want you to know the truth, and it's much farther beyond just the banks. Companies as well. I hope you guys, I know you guys and gals do understand silver's truth. I don't even need to be speaking about this stuff to some extent to the silver stackers, the people that have been watching my channel, but a lot of these videos are catching new eyes, new attention, and that's why I need to make these videos to share what's really going on. Silver's price is extremely undervalued. Looking at the gold to silver ratio, gold's at mid $1,400, $1,500, silver's only $17. Silver is almost as rare as gold is. Silver is used just as important in the world as gold is. So why is gold 85 times more valuable than silver is? Something's not right there, especially when gold is used for mainly jewelry and necklaces and bullion and coinage. What silver is used for laptops, photography, mirrors, dental alloys, space equipment, solar panels, so many things. Colloidal silver in the medical world, silver nanoparticles. Scientists have just discovered a way to make silver 40% stronger without losing any electrical conductivity. Oh yeah, and silver is the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. Huh. It's used for all these things, but something that's only used for jewelry and coinage, which is gold, is 85 times more valuable. It seems like that right there is manipulated to some degree, and actually an extreme degree. Because back in the day, in Egyptian time and biblical times, it was 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold, which means 2.5 ounces of silver would equal or get you 1 ounce of gold. Actually, before that, it was 1 part silver equaled 1 part gold, which means you could trade a 1 ounce coin, which they weren't coins back then, or they weren't, our typical 1 ounce coins, but you could trade 1 ounce of silver, we'll use the measurement of ounce, for 1 ounce of gold back in the day. And then it went to 2.5 parts, and then it wasn't until the nations started appearing when I think it was FDR, who was it? I forgot. I talked about it in a video a couple months ago, but I think it was FDR. He changed it to I think it was something drastic, and it made gold much more valuable when there was no rhyme or reason to do that. It's almost like they just wanted gold to be the royal metal, and that's when it was starting to become manipulated from a serious degree. And that right there shows that it's not even about its natural price anymore. It doesn't matter what it comes out of compared to the ground, where it only comes out of the ground roughly 8-to-1, which means every 8 ounces of silver we find 1 ounce of gold. But that's actually less than that because like I mentioned before, the top producers of silver have been abandoning silver mines. So silver's not even getting dug out of the ground right now. So it's actually probably around 3-4 to 1. Every 3 or 4 ounces of silver they find 1 ounce of gold. Silver is not much more common than gold is, so why is the ratio so high? It's like they don't want you to know the truth. If we can go 15, 20 years in the future and look back on today's times, we would easily see that silver was a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And I hope you guys can see that now. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for new, because I do post daily videos. I want to keep you guys in the loop on a day-to-day basis, what's going on in the world of precious metals, what silver prices are doing, also sharing my opinion as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys missed the videos I posted yesterday, top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner, go check those out. I know you guys would dig them. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.